documentary on the failed artist. I think part of it is to understand that people have the idea that as an artist you're supposed to be famous, when in fact it's about your artistry and it's about your it's about having a career and not fame, because fame can come and go. So I had my daughter when I was 19, and so I became a single mom. You know, it's very hard for an artist to have children, because then you're not your priority, your child is, right? So I took a little bit of a step back to raise my daughter. I was a single mom. I was also taking care of my mom and my family. And so when I finished my degree, I went back into performing. And I was traveling. I did a lot of international tours on a more theater level. And then I applied to the MFA program for opera at Juilliard, and I got accepted. So with that, it took me to live in Paris for a little bit to train to be coloratura. But it was very hard because I missed my daughter being here in New York, and I would travel back and forth. And as she got older, I realized I had to be more present. You know, it's not like I could just pick up and travel. And so then, you know, they start getting older and emotional, and then you have to be the mom and the dad all the time. And at one point, her appendix burst, and so she spent a month and a half in the hospital. And so I had to be there for the whole month and a half. And so I took a step back from performing.
The average person, right, would look at this table and say, this is a table, you know? It's just a table. But a creative person would look at this table and say, yo, maybe I could paint this table, you know what I mean? Like, it's a table, but like I could paint it, and I could put flowers on it. I could make it look nice. It's just a table, but like we could do so much things with this table. It doesn't have to be a table. You don't even have to call it a table. You could call it something else.
With being alone as an artist is like really
Lying condition.
the worst part. Oh man, I could tell you right now, bro, because I've
Perform much more in touch with.
The worst part about being alone is that like you're technically by yourself, because people don't believe in you. You know what I mean? You might have a difficult time believing in yourself. You know what I mean? But even should I be doing this, you kind of question, like, yo, is this the field I'm supposed to get? Because, you know what I mean, you want to know your destiny. Is this your path?
Hence the wardrobe.
And for, you know what I mean, you start questioning yourself. It makes questions come up that question your whole existence.
Hide.
As a person, as a human being, like a passion is basically questioning yourself on earth, because you're working towards something that you were sent here for. You know what I mean? That you believe you were sent here for, but is this really what I'm really destined?
And so, and no one's gonna remember me. My life's gonna have like no real effect on the world. Like I die, and I don't even know I exist.
When you question the song that will reach that goal, and it doesn't reach the goal, you know what I mean? So goals for artists
With your artistry, because that is
unrealistic. It's just that.
But I remember telling somebody once, you just don't understand. For me, it's much more important or much more fulfilling to perform on stage, or to do what I do, to bring to life something, whether it's as a teacher or director or whatever. That to me is much more fulfilling than any orgasm or any moment of what you quote unquote call happiness, like your wedding day. You know, I said people work so hard to have the perfect wedding day, right? I have the perfect wedding day every time I get on stage to perform. I have the perfect wedding day every time I was on a set shooting something. So you see, you have one day. I get that every time I'm on a set. I get that drive, that adrenaline rush. I get that every time I write something and it comes out perfectly. I get that every time I put a production on stage, even though I go crazy and I don't sleep for like days. But I get that. You get that one time in your lifetime if you're lucky. We get that every single time we bring something to life. Yeah, we torture ourselves in the process, but you know, it's worth it. Anyways, sorry. I just keep rambling.
I want to take things that I see that's important in the world and put it within my music and show it to the entire world. You know what I mean? I want to be the voice of the people. I want to bring justice to my music. I want to take injustice, things that's happened out there, you know, on the street, anywhere that's happening around the world, and put it in my music. You know what I mean? I want to be a journalist within the music. You know what I mean? I feel like within myself sometimes, I feel like I look at like the shit that I go through every day and what I see outside and where I come from, my household, my family. I see everything around me, and I just think to myself like, yo, like I have to be here for a greater purpose. You know what I mean? I see things different. I don't see life as a routine or life as being one place. You know what I mean? I see change in the world. Like I want to see change. That's my major. That's what I'm structured around. Change. If I'm here, I'm gonna change the world. If I'm here, I'm gonna put change onto the streets. I'm gonna put change onto everybody. I don't know if that's possible. You know what I mean? Because like you could only lead a horse to the river, but like if I'm here, I have to see some type of change. You know what I mean?
You know, for me, part of it is because I'm more like, okay, I don't want to waste my energy on you. My daughter knows that if I'm performing, I prepare for a character, I separate from, like she just knew, okay, mom is preparing, she's going downstairs. From my perspective, I did everything for my craft and my passion and everything, and this to me was what made sense for me, because I needed to come up with the perfect character or the perfect player. My brain needs to focus on that. But then once that's done, and you realize what you've said to this person, that's heartbreaking. I wasn't married, but when I was living with my daughter's father, he made me choose between him and art. I loved him, but I was in love with my craft. When you're looking for unconditional love from a partner, it's very hard to find it, in my opinion, in an artist. I don't remember being in a worse depression than in that period of my life. Every day it just got worse and worse and worse, and every day it was just horrible.
And what do you want to be when you grow up?
A singer and dancer. I think I'll be an actress, but I don't want to be famous. Just want to try to be someone that, like, you say, I'm going to be famous, and if you don't get famous, you shouldn't be upset. Like, you're who you are, and you can be a good person even if you're not famous.
Do you want to be famous?